I have an article here from BNN Bloomberg. Sony PSVR2 headset off to slow start as metaverse push sputters. They're projected to sell fewer than 300,000 PSVR2 headsets from the February 22nd release towards the end of March. This is from the IDC, the estimates. Sony had a lofty goal of making about 2 million units from the PSVR2's heads or launch window. Bloomberg News reported last year. Sony did kind of deny that though, but I don't know what the true expectations were. You got some quotes here from the IDC's Francisco Geronimo, Vice President of Data Analytics. VR headsets are not top of mind for most consumers under the current economic climate. Geronimo also suspects a price cut will be needed to avoid a complete disaster of their product. And then they mentioned that the PSVR2 requires a PS5 console to play with and costs $549, a price that's only grown more onerous as economic conditions have worsened. Meta has announced a price cut on its Quest 2 that will also impact sales of Sony's gadget. The original PSVR sold 5 million, and they say that Sony is reasonably confident about surpassing that. And then they talk about how the Quest has surpassed 20 million sales to date and everything, and then it kind of wraps up here and stuff. The thing with like the VR headset is, number one, you got people, because I think we're a long ways away from that ever becoming close to being mainstream, or however you want to define it, being mainstream, I guess, super popular, because of a variety of reasons. For one, there's people who get sick and can't do it, headaches or motion sickness or whatever. I'm unfortunately one of those people. There's a lot of VR stuff that looks really cool, but I just can't play it. I know there's a fair amount of people in that boat with me. I personally know people who can play. They don't get like motion sickness, but they do start getting headaches and stuff. So it depends on the person and stuff and everything. But I also think that the fact that peripherals almost never sell like overwhelmingly well. Sometimes there'll be exceptions and stuff, like the Guitar Hero stuff, the Wii Fit board and everything. Those can sell really, really well. And of course, there's other things, other examples and stuff like that. But anyway, those are the main ones that come to mind. But generally, peripherals don't sell as well because a lot of these companies, how companies are, they're going to sit there and say if you got an install base of, like, for instance, like we got 30 million PS5s out there that we could sell to potentially, or we've got let's just use the 5 million number for the PSVR, assuming that's what they get to, or we can sell to 5 million people who own the PSVR goggles. In both cases, you're not going to have 100% sell through. So I guess it'd be more likely that PS5 is going to be like 80, 90, 100 million. Who knows how far it'll get? And say they get to the 5 million with the VR2. So, okay, we're going to sell to potentially 100 million people or 5 million. Or it could be, even just like with the Quest, we got 20 million sales versus 5 million for the original PSVR. That kind of stuff. How companies are. They always try to justify their decisions and everything. I don't think that this is like terrible news, because I'm assuming Sony knew that that this was going to be somewhat of a struggle. That they were wanting to push forward and kind of plant their flag in the ground and say, hey, we're doing VR stuff because we like it. We expect it to take off eventually. It might be the PS6 or the PS7. Who knows when like VR will become more popular. I don't think it'll be by then. I think it'll take even longer. But who knows? I'm no Nostradamus. Don't claim to be. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Like I said, I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.